Hello, everybody.
I'm not going to use my first F-bomb
What
of the
a
night.
poop show.
What a crap show trying to get that all working. Can you hear us? I don't know. Louis said Mike is kind of scratchy. You shouldn't even heard the mic. Maybe you did. I have no idea.
The mic's working on my end.
All right.
I can hear it. Hello.
Go. Yo.
We miss you all.
Yeah, we had so many technical issues right now.
Yes.
It was not even funny. So what's up, everybody? Thank you guys for being here. We are in a subscriber-only chat today.
Nice.
We've had a lot of problems with a troll, and we're just not going to deal with it today. So we're in subscriber-only chat. So if you are here because Q is going to be here,
yes,
and you're not subscribed, you're not going to be able to chat. I'm sorry.
Yes.
There's no way around it right now. We're trying to figure something out.
If you send messages to our Instagram,
yes,
I'll be able to pull them up and answer those that way.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So I'm going to waste no more time.
Yes.
And I'm just going to bring a Q in. And I don't know if I'm going to have audio problems hearing you guys, so give me a second. So I'm going to add them in. What's up?
Hey,
Hello!
Can you hear us?
We can hear you guys. Awesome. Yes.
Miss you guys.
You too.
Miss you.
What a day, you guys. Trying to get all this working.
It was the most Monday of all the Tuesdays.
Yes, it was wild, but we are good right now, at least.
Okay.
How you guys doing?
Good. Just trying to get back in sync with life, especially because we're coming up to the end of the school year, which is a big time in like our house.
Yeah.
With like between Jen being a teacher and then our daughters and everything. So yeah, just prepping for that end of the year rush.
Yep, for sure.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So I did ask some questions.
Okay.
Just so you guys in Chatland know, we have not had a chance to like debrief with Jen and Q at all
No.
about their trip to Paris.
No, not at all.
We haven't got to hear anything. So
we've been trying to keep it spoiler free for ourselves.
Yeah. I will say I really enjoyed following along in your stories. I'm pretty
you.
sure everybody in chat here follows you already.
Hopefully.
I'm sure they do. But if you do not, I don't think anybody does stories on Instagram quite as well as Q.
100%.
So
Thank you.
yeah, just one follow along. And Jen, it's always a pleasure to see you in the stories.
She's always the model.
Yeah.
All right. So happy Tuesday.
Yeah, cheers. Happy Tuesday. All right. So I guess the first question overall, without getting into like favorites or least favorites,
Sure.
like how was the trip overall?
The trip was really fun. It was our first time ever, to kind of give context for everyone. It was our first time ever going to any kind of international park. I mean, we've been to Disney World, and of course we go to Disneyland all the time, but it's the first time, it's actually the first time either one of us have ever actually flown overseas. So
Oh, wow, okay.
yeah, so like everything like was brand new, going to a different country, figuring out how to do money change, like how to even like what the right flight was to get there, all that.
For sure.
Completely like a new experience for both of us. And so the trip itself went off, especially with all of that stuff, really smoothly. Like I don't think we had a hiccup at all really under our plans, did we?
No, everyone's always talking about the horrors of customs and all of that, and walked right through. I think our longest customs line was actually coming home in San Francisco.
Okay.
So
But yeah, the trip itself is great. Everything, and you know, we'll probably get into it, but there's a lot of things that we were told about, like certain things about Paris and Disneyland Paris and stuff to be prepared for. And out of all of them, spoiler alert, there was only one thing that we thought that was true, which I'll tell. But the rest of it was like, no, not true at all. Everybody was great. Everything was great while we were there.
That's awesome.
That is so good. Yeah, that is so good to hear.
You do always hear like some sketchy things, you know.
Yeah. So one question I have.
Yeah.
When you went over there, like, was everything pretty like bilingual, like pretty English set?
Yeah. So Jen and I have been we're doing Duolingo for like 2 years.
Yeah, I remember Jen had told me that.
Yeah, and I will admit it was a little easier because it's a lot like Spanish, so it's just remembering what the different words are and
right.
But surprisingly, when we got there, we really didn't have to use like hardly any of the French that we learned. I mean, bonjour. My accent's horrible, just like it is in Spanish. So a good thing.
What was the one like French verse that you were like excited to use?
Je parle français très petit.
And what does that mean?
I speak French very little.
Okay.
Yeah. I never had to like use, so but no, like bonjour and like deux for like two people, like to get in line. Oh, and merci, like thank you, all got used quite a bit. Oh, and excusez-moi.
Pardon.
Yeah, but that's about it. Like everything else was like incredibly bilingual.
Nice. That's good. That's good to hear.
Yeah, that is cool. That is awesome. We have it looks like Jay in the chat. He said that first he was excited that you guys are both here, of course. And then he said that your guys' stories were epic. So your stories, so.
Well, thank you.
And then Andrew is saying his next park will be Paris, which is awesome.
I think that's a good next park to go to because from what I understand, it's more bilingual than any of the Asian parks. So unless you speak the language at one of the Asian parks, I think Paris is probably a good way to ease into the international ones.
That makes sense. I would probably agree with that. I think it's probably the least culture shock you're gonna get.
Yeah.
You know?
I do have a friend that she was a friend with characters at Disneyland. And when Disney Paris opened up, she was flown over there to be part of their opening crew.
That's cool.
So I think she was friends with Mary Poppins when she first started. Mary Poppins and Snow White.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
Ivan said he's missed Talk Tuesdays. Ivan, we missed it too.
I know.
We had technical issues because nothing was rewired. I've been working on. You guys can't see it. This whole side has been like remodeled. I also
That means you have to come and visit next time you're down here.
I got a 3D printer.
The second one.
That's cool.
Okay.
Yes, a second 3D printer that I actually used. The first one never got used.
The first one still
in a
needs
box.
to be put together.
So I printed this little Mickey Stormtrooper. Well, you guys can't see it down there, but it came out pretty good.
Yeah, he is pretty cute.
It came out cool.
Here, we'll stand up
very cool.
my water bottle.
Okay. Miss Eep said that they had no problems at Disney Paris either. So that's awesome.
Yeah, that's so good to hear.
All right, so you guys knocked out a couple of the questions we had. Somebody asked us, you guys said the questions were for you guys, if we've ever been to Disneyland Paris. We have not.
We have not.
We have never been to any of the parks outside of the U.S.
Right.
And
just in my dreams.
So I guess this didn't come from anybody you know, surprisingly, but I think they already know your answer. Which Avengers campus is better?
Oh, that's a good question. So I like ours, but the only reason I will say ours is better is because when we were in Paris, there wasn't really any walk around characters. From what I understand, there typically is.
Okay.
Maybe we just were on an off week or an off day, and they just didn't bring any out. They had Spider-Man up on like the rooftop of like the web building, and there was a special like meet and greet where you could go meet like an Avenger inside an interior building, but there wasn't anybody walking around. And so I think the thing that makes our Avengers campus special is the fact that you literally, could walk in there and meet 3 superheroes before you leave the land at any point. And so I think that ours is better from that aspect. What do you think?
Well, and I would agree. I think that our Avengers campus has a lot more just kinetic energy to it. There's more movement. There's more people. Their Avengers campus, they're doing a lot of construction right now. So it like dead ends on the left side of the park. So unless you're running over there to go to Flight Force, which is basically rethemed rock and roller coaster, you're not over there. There's no like passing through to get anywhere. And so there's just fewer people. And then I really miss the characters. And then why was Spider-Man wearing a sweatshirt? That was weird.
Well, it's cold.
I know, but it was weird. Like he's Spider-Man. Like you're okay. Man.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, okay.
I was like, yeah, that's a choice. All right.
It was cold. I mean, I was wearing a sweatshirt, so yeah, I get it.
Which is, it's interesting to hear that, like, from pictures, I feel like their campus looks better, but maybe I'm just like jaded because I'm so used to ours.
Right.
So their campus does have it works the angles because it's an L shape versus ours is just kind of basically a circle.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And so like there's a long hallway that you walk down to get to Flight Force, and so like the reveal of where their Quinjet is more aesthetically pleasing because you're basically going down this long corridor towards this structure at the very end of it, and it's this giant building. One of the cool things that they actually have there is the building that has Flight Force. Friday basically is it speaks to you from the building. So they have a giant arc reactor that lights up like and talks to you or talks to the campus, I guess.
Yeah.
From the building. And so that's really cool. That's actually references like the other Avengers campuses. Like it'll talk about stuff that's happening like in Anaheim. It talks about
that's pretty cool.
happening in Hong Kong. Yeah. So like that is like the one thing I wish we had here is some like they
like we don't have a Friday.
No.
That's something so easy to do too.
Actually, so super nerdy. It's kind of interesting because I don't know if it's on purpose or not, but each one of the Avengers campuses seems to have their own version of AI because we have Sharon inside like the web stuff.
Right.
They have Friday. And then in Hong Kong, they actually have Jarvis because it takes place before Age of Ultron. So, I don't know if that's on purpose if they try to give each campus its own AI or not.
Didn't the opening ceremonies have Friday here?
I don't remember.
I think our opening ceremonies, like that they did after parks.
Then,
I want to say it had Friday there.
Oh well, then there you go. So they do need to bring in Friday and put her on the side of the building.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a good ad for like 2.0 when we ever get the third ride.
Yeah.
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 I will say one thing that they had that we thought was really cool was the way that they did like their big meet and greets. It was more like a virtual queue or return time. And then when you came back, you didn't get to pick your Avenger, but it was really cool. They had my brain wants to say stop motion camera, but it's not. It's
like the 360 cameras that go.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And so like you wait for your turn and we had Shuri And I just think that was kind of cool, a cool way to do it. It's not like you have to wait in line and, oh man, Cap has to go on patrol. Sorry, guys.
Right.
You got return time with the character.
Yeah, dedicated time.
You could do the 360 camera. You could purchase the photo pass of it, and you spent quite a bit of time interacting. I felt
it's like Princess Fantasy Fair, but with like Avengers.
Yeah,
that is pretty cool.
Yeah,
I like the idea of that, but I still like the idea of getting in line and knowing who you're going to see. Maybe,
yeah.
You know, I have nothing wrong with Shuri, but that wouldn't be like my top choice, right? But I think it's cool for people who like kind of have like a limited time. They're like, I can come back. Whoever I get.
It'd be easier to plan your day around, kind of like.
Yeah.
And I guess if you get in line, because the way our Avengers campus usually does it is they cut the line, so you're gonna get who you got in line for usually.
Yeah.
But sometimes, like other parts of the parks, you get in line and you may just get who you get because they swap them out in the same spot. So I guess it still works out. That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
We got Simon in the chat.
Simon!
He's been a member for 27 months. Thank you, Simon. It's good to see you here, man.
I know. How have you been? It's been a while. And then
Miss Eep said it must have been an off day. Too bad. Joe ran and attacked at least 6 characters. Loki French flirting was hilarious. That is pretty funny.
That is so funny.
Yeah, so like I want, that's the one thing, as I think then I still would stick with ours being better for the characters, because there's never been a day, even in the rain, where you wouldn't meet somebody out here.
Right.
Versus there,
Right.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I always have thought our Avengers campus has always done very well. And when it first opened, I think a lot of people were underwhelmed by a lot of things. But the one thing everybody was pretty consistent with is even during like the reopening, we still were wearing masks. Like you could still interact with characters.
Right.
And it felt so much more alive than say like Galaxy's Edge did at the time.
Yeah.
Like, Galaxy's Edge has gotten better. It's still not quite there, I don't think.
Yeah.
Because at Galaxy's Edge, it seems like they're kind of like in one area.
Yeah, all by the marketplace, all kind
in
of
the marketplace. If you get interactions, and then I just feel like there is a lot of. I think Jen said use the word kinetic energy, so that's awesome. Let's see. I guess nobody asked this, but it's come up to me. What? So obviously they have the Spider-Man ride. So Web Slingers is the same, basically.
Exactly the same, except Peter Parker's in French.
In French, okay. So exact same.
Yeah.
And so then, I guess ride-wise, do you prefer ours, like attraction-wise, or theirs?
In Avengers Campus?
Yeah, in just Avengers Campus.
That's a good question. So since Web Slingers is the same, I mean, it doesn't matter. Flight Force, are we comparing it to like Guardians then?
I guess so. Yeah, you'd have to compare it to our Guardians.
Yeah, I like our Guardians better because their Flight Force, when they redid it, they didn't change the track to a modern track, so it has Matterhorn vibes to it, if that makes sense.
Right.
And so like it's an over the shoulder harness like they have at Rock and Roller Coaster, but because the track isn't as smooth, you end up like hitting your head against the side when you're in there. And I think we've had like headaches afterwards.
I could feel my head. So I was trying to like lean forward so I didn't hit my head, but then my neck was stiff. It was very, I don't know, it's very jarring. And I mean, Rock and Roll.
That's how Windjammers at Knott's used to be.
Yeah.
That ride, I would not ride that. It would just give me the worst migraine after.
Yeah.
So
but one thing I did like better over there is their Pim's kitchen is much better than ours. First off, it's a buffet there. So so you like
buffets are always better.
Yeah. and it's table service, sort of buffet style table service, where like you get in there, can get a seat and everything. Looks kind of the same. They have like the giant foods, but since it's buffet style, they serve you like a piece of giant food. They'll bring you like the giant pretzel to your table as part of your meal, so you don't have to order it separately.
That's cool.
And then their quick service that's in there, I don't remember the name of it.
Stark something.
It's super cool because they have a bunch more Easter eggs in their quick service area since they have 2 restaurants, and in there they they actually recreated Agent Carter's office.
Oh, I saw that on your story.
Yeah. So like it was like, and it's like down to like the littlest detail. So
That's
you
so
can
cool.
tell they put a lot of thought and effort into making sure that like all of the Easter egg stuff and like the entire land was really well thought out.
That's awesome.
That's
So
awesome.
it definitely feels like ours has some Easter eggs, which is maybe because I mean I'm used to them after so many years. They don't
Right.
stand out as like unique anymore. But
Yeah.
there, it feels like they have like a lot more like there.
Dang. Okay. Mark said, "What was the one thing people warned you about that was true?"
They smoke everywhere.
Oh.
Everywhere.
So they have dedicated smoking areas. So people obviously do smoke there, and that's fine. That's their choice. But then vaping isn't like prohibited at all. So you can vape in line, you can vape wherever, basically.
Wow.
And then
Okay.
because they don't regulate the vaping part of it, people will light up wherever. So
Right.
if you're a person that's sensitive to smoke or has like breathing issues, I'm not, thankfully. It just caught me off guard that people were smoking in a
Yeah.
Disney park.
Yeah, that would suck for me.
Yeah, except for you, I think.
Yeah, that was the one thing that like kind of threw me off, was that there was a lot of smoke. I mean, and I realize I'm coming from California, which is very, very smoke free. So like, you know, it's probably one of the states where the contrast is the biggest, but that totally took me off guard.
That's crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been so long since like it's hard to believe that we used to like go to restaurants as kids and they'd be like,
Yes.
smoking or not. And my parents smoked,
Yeah.
so we always sat in smoking. But
Yeah.
like legitimately, you're eating at Olive Garden. It's one restaurant.
Right.
They did not have air scrubbers like Vegas quality. Everybody sat in smoking. You know?
Yeah, completely. And I remember like I have vivid memories of walking by Big Thunder in our Disneyland, and there's that one area that used to be like
that
filled
back
with smoke.
corner.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
You
but
would hold
like,
your breath walking around that corner.
Exactly. And it like it caught Jen off guard. Remember we were waiting for Pinocchio, and that woman was like just smoking like right outside the queue, and you're like, what is going on?
Yeah, it's just so strange and bizarre, but it was definitely shocking, and you can't like get away from it. Like I remember after one of their parades, like people on Main Street are just like, you can't get, oh, like what is happening? But
So
I mean, it's fine.
It's culturally different.
Choice. It was
Yeah.
It's just
a
a culture
shocker.
shock.
Yeah. Louis said, what's the biggest difference between Disneyland and Paris?
So if we're just doing like the Disneyland parks, I think the biggest difference is that theirs, you can tell, was designed from the beginning to be aesthetically pleasing. One of the things that we noticed that stood out to us like quite a bit is that our park has every inch of it is like packed out. Everything, there's something in every single square inch of it.
Right.
And then like if you go to Disney World, there's just a bunch of empty space in between a lot of their stuff. And in Paris, they have similar like they don't have as many rides as we do. They're closer to Magic Kingdom in the number of rides that they have. I think they have 32 is what we counted. And so there is empty space, but they put like pathways and gardens in there. So that way, as you're walking through, it's almost like how Animal Kingdom, you know, has a lot of those like pathways where you'll just kind of be wandering down and you'll end up somewhere else. It has like that feel to it, where everything was designed to give you like a viewpoint of something cool to look at or to feel relaxing as you're kind of strolling through the park. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it like the entire time we were there, and we were there during a peak season, did not feel like it was crowded at all. It didn't feel like you were like jammed with people. It felt very, very open, and like you could just kind of walk around and actually enjoy the space there.
Okay.
That's awesome.
That was the thing I was going to say, is everything seemed very open. Like there were lots of sight lines. Like you could see, you know, if you are standing at the train station looking down our main street, like you got the trees, you got the flagpole, like you have to kind of like maneuver your way to see down Main Street. And there, everything was just super open. There were not a lot of bottlenecks. And everything was very like bright. I don't know if that's the right word. Just
you can tell that the paint that they use, they definitely invested in making sure that it's lasts. And actually, that reminds me of one other thing I thought that was interesting, is that the So their Tomorrowland is Discoveryland, and it was. I put this in a post the other day, but it was built back in the '90s, and it still looks great. It you can tell that they spent the money there, and especially in comparison to like our Tomorrowland, which was kind of based off of theirs, but the budget was pulled back.
Right.
You can tell the difference between if you spend that extra money, you're going to get a land that's going to last you like 30 years, 40 years now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It helps too that they picked a better theme too.
Yeah, completely.
Like they're not stuck in like a, the future comes and goes, but they did a good job sticking to a theme that is kind of evergreen in the same way that Adventureland and Frontierland are like evergreen. It doesn't go away,
Right.
Completely. But yeah, everything there is like very bright. In fact, actually, one of the things we were talking about, because we just came back from Disneyland last weekend. And so when we were on our Small World, we were talking about how much darker it seems than Paris's Small World because they have way more lights and brighter colors in there. And so everything is like the spirit of the 90s is alive, like in Disneyland Paris, because it's all like bright colors and bright lights everywhere.
That's crazy. Yeah, it must be a cultural thing, maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
I'm wondering if part of it is like I don't know, maybe like when you think about like the US parks, obviously Florida struggles because it's like, and even California, like the sun is really harsh.
Right.
Paris maybe doesn't have quite as many super sunny days.
Yeah, that's true.
And maybe the paint is more resilient to wet. I don't know, but it is interesting to hear.
Yeah.
Miss Eep said, "How awesome was their Thunder Mountain?"
Their Thunder Mountain was incredible. It was my second favorite ride that I rode on while I was there.
That's awesome.
It's probably my first favorite ride.
Yeah.
We kind of, the very first takeoff, I think that we both were like, what was that? Like,
it's much faster than ours, and longer. And I think it is like, I haven't ridden Tokyo, so I won't say it's the best one for sure. But of the three that I've ridden, it is the best one.
Are the effects on it as up to date as ours, or is it kind of stuck like the Magic
Kingdom? Yeah, no, they're pretty up to date because they actually just recently refurbished it back in 2017.
Oh,
so it got like an update. And so their stuff is like still pretty well. It's on par with ours. I mean,
that's awesome.
I think that they did a great job making it feel like a complete ride, because how like on ours at the end it just kind of peters to a stop after the big explosion.
Yeah.
So for theirs, is this spoilers? Do you guys care? I always ask because I feel bad.
Cover your ears in chat if you
mute right now if you don't want spoilers, and I will raise my hand when it's clear to open back up.
The ending of it is actually another launch. So because it's on an island, they have to launch you out to the island to go on to the actual coaster part. And then when the ride's over, they launch you back to the shore underground in a tunnel. So you're going incredibly fast underground for like a good 30, 45 seconds. So it's like two launches, one at the beginning and one at the end. And that's like a great way to like finish out the ride. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
One thing we do miss though is they don't have the goat.
Yeah.
They don't have
no goat over there.
They don't have the goat on their turn there.
No.
So we were looking all over and he was eating laundry somewhere earlier in the night, apparently.
Maybe the dynamite got to him. All right, are we done with spoilers?
Yeah.
All right. No more spoilers. All right.
Lex wants to know, did they only have wine and champagne in the park?
No, they had all the drinks, like soda and stuff, tea, coffee, all that stuff.
Yeah, I think out of alcohol, do they only have wine and champagne?
No, they actually, you actually at dinner had a rum drink when we went to Captain Jack's. So they have.
Sorry, I'm like, wait, hold on. What did I have? I don't remember. A lot of the places were mostly wine and champagne. Yeah. Some of the places had specialty drinks, like when we were at Captain Jack's. They specialized like in rum. But yeah, I'm trying to think.
At Walt's, places. So they have instead of Carnation Cafe on their main street, they have Walt's restaurant.
Right.
On the senior on Walt Disney, and they had a a whiskey mule there that you could. Oh no, whiskey mint julep is what they had there.
Okay.
Yeah, so you could drink that there. They had other drinks other than just wine and champagne. So yeah, so they have all of like the harder hard liquors if that's
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing those just out. I feel like that might have just been
In the
at
restaurants.
The
Right.
sit-down
Well,
restaurant.
Like
The
sit
only
down
thing they did have like kind of out was champagne on Main Street. That was the only.
Okay.
There weren't carts that were selling wine that we could see anywhere.
Okay.
Anyway.
So it's not like Disney World as far as like Epcot and the other parks.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
it's not like where there's just, or even like DCA where there's just like carts
Right.
outside.
Flowing, yeah.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's actually it's an interesting dynamic there because they don't have the same amount of like Disney adults that we have. So there wasn't like people that were like we saw maybe one or two people bounding the entire time we were there, for example.
Right. Yeah, it's not the same.
Yeah, but also there weren't a lot of little kids there either. So
That's
like
crazy, really.
yeah, like I think we heard a baby crying like 2-3 times.
Wow.
So, yeah.
There definitely was fewer like babies, strollers,
Okay.
car seats.
Mhm.
You know, the 3-4-year-olds probably preschool
Right.
age.
Yeah.
But yeah, the little babies, they're either they weren't there or French babies are very well behaved. So I don't know which one it is.
It
could
definitely
be both.
felt more like it's like a family thing, like an older kids family park that,
Okay.
that the family would go to.
Okay. Mark said, what were the other things that people warned you about that weren't true?
So French people were not rude. Everyone
Okay.
there was very polite.
And-
In the park, we never had a rude person there. At least a rude cast member, anyway.
And you guys did a little bit around Paris as well,
Yeah.
right? And you didn't not rude there either.
No, the closest we got was one person was a little snippy at the Eiffel Tower, but that's about it.
Okay.
But like, I mean, that's the one person out of the entire
Right.
like 6 days we were there.
Right.
So
Maybe
that,
don't
I
hold
chalk
the
it to be,
whole country
yeah,
against
it's them more than I
Yeah.
would like any kind of cultural
it.
thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
Um,
and to be fair, I feel like you guys probably weren't over there acting like what I would say or what most people would assume a stupid American acts like.
Mhm.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that probably is. I mean, I'm sure if you're not being an idiot, people are probably treating you fine. You know.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't like being loud and boisterous and anything like that. So yeah,
Right.
that probably helped.
Right.
The
You didn't
other
try to
thing-
order a side of freedom fries with your food.
No, although we did go to McDonald's because I had to know if it really is a Royale with cheese,
Mhm.
and it actually is a Royale with cheese at McDonald's.
Mhm.
Pulp Fiction was correct. That is actually what they call it
Pulp
out there.
Fiction's correct,
I
yeah.
just had to find out. I've been wondering my entire life.
Was the food at McDonald's any better? Like did the
Same.
quality seemed the same?
Same.
Okay.
But that was the other thing that people warned us about that wasn't true. We've heard these horror stories about Disneyland Paris having like such horrible food, and it's not stuff that you would really enjoy or anything.
Mhm.
And it was fine. I think what probably bumps people is that they think Paris and they think fine cuisine and like the best food in
Right.
the world.
Right.
And it's just fine. Like
Mhm.
it's just like any other theme park food. It's
Mhm.
there's nothing unique about it.
Right.
But it's not like horrible either. So I think there's like this expectation that doesn't get met. So it makes it feel worse.
Well, and to be fair though, Disney did fully take over the park not too many years back.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I wonder if maybe some of the people, and I don't know who you talked to, but if some of those people visited the park before that.
Oh, that's true. That could
So
very well be.
maybe Disney tried to bring that standard back up. You never
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Because maybe the park used to try to cater to the fancy food, but I feel like trying to do fancy food at the theme park level would turn me off more than just doing normal theme park food kind of mid.
Right.
Yeah,
You know?
I agree. I think we see it a lot here, with the food festivals, where if Disney tries to get a little too experimental with some of the food booths, people start complaining because it's not the stuff that they're used to. So
Right.
that makes sense. I could totally see that out there.
Yeah, so that could be it. Who knows,
Right.
Let's see. It looks like Simon this is when we were talking about the smoking. He was saying a lot of places in Europe still allow smoking in eating areas, but mostly outdoors. And I guess, could you smoke in the restaurants in Paris, inside at Disney?
I don't
Think so. They
I don't
didn't.
think so.
It wasn't explicitly said no. So
Yeah.
I don't know if it's
But
like
you don't remember like smelling it during dinner.
No.
No, I think walking through shops and stuff, I think people would vape inside.
In the
but-
shops, yeah.
But I
Yeah.
don't at restaurants. I don't recall ever having a cigarette.
That's good.
smell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would
James said they used to call that Smoker's Lounge by Thunder Mountain. Miss Eep said it's so freaking great, wrote it so many times. I think
Mhm.
she was the one that asked about Big
Big
Thunder.
Thunder.
So
Thunder,
I
yeah.
have heard from many people that Paris as Big Thunder is the like quintessential Big Thunder,
I would agree with that.
but that Tokyo is also very good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the general consensus from people ranking it tends to usually be that Disney World has the least, the worst Big Thunder,
Mhm.
and Disneyland Paris is in most lists. I always see it the best.
The best. Yeah.
And then the other parks kind of fall in some place.
Yeah.
That's about how I would do it too. I would put Paris, ours, and then Disney World's.
Mhm.
Okay. And Val's here. She said that sounds
Hi,
epic.
Val.
Simon wanted to know, does Disney Paris have a lot of hidden Mickeys?
Oh.
That's a good question.
Oh.
We weren't looking for them, to be perfectly honest, because I think hidden Mickeys can sometimes be like a little bit of a rabbit hole. You know what I mean? Because then you'll just
You'll spend your whole day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There were a few that we noticed just offhand. So I would probably say just the same amount as you would have like in any other Disney park.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Priscilla's here. What's up, Priscilla?
Hello, Priscilla.
Louis said any out of the ordinary characters about. So did you guys see any like rare characters that you've never seen here or wouldn't see very often here?
Let's see. So I think what was interesting is that they didn't have any out of the ordinary characters like
Oh, they did. I'm sorry. Sorry
Yeah.
to interrupt you. Asha is really big out there.
yes.
So I don't know if Wish hasn't come out yet or if it's coming out soon because
Right.
Wish was being pushed huge. Like
Oh.
Way
was-
more than what we have here. Like they
yeah.
have shops plural dedicated to
Oh,
Wish.
wow.
Oh wow. Okay.
whereas in Disneyland right now, their Wish merchandise is 40% off.
Yeah.
Right.
Asha was a big character in their parades and stuff. So
Mhm.
maybe
Oh,
not
wow.
out of the ordinary, but just a little bit of a blast from the past. And I don't know what you were going to say, but I was
Oh.
going to say their character interactions, like at home here, you interact with the characters that fit your storyline, kind of like you don't see Alice going and talking to whatever,
Right.
Japan or Goofy, and they all just kind of mix up there, and which is fine, but it was just weird
Mhm.
because at
Oh,
home,
yeah.
like when Tiana and Goofy and Mirabelle
That's part of the
and
show.
yeah,
Hmm.
on for their parade stage show thing,
Right.
which was amazing. A Million Splashes of Color, I think. It was just interesting. There's the mix of characters that would interact together. So
Speaking of Mirabelle, I did find it interesting about their Mirabelle because it was odd because our Mirabelle has like a very set way of like acting. They all act the same, generally
Yeah.
pretty bubbly, you know what I mean, and friendly, but otherwise just kind of like an average person, I guess is the best way to put it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Their Mirabelle is like over the top mugging and like does a lot of like extreme like facial expressions and stuff. It's more classic cartoonish, which I thought was like an interesting interpretation. And I don't know if like it's just interesting to see like what they thought Mirabelle was like versus like what we know her from
Right.
here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
like take early Jim Carrey facial
Yeah.
expressions and put them in Mirabelle. That's kind of what she was going
Interesting.
for.
Interesting.
Which
Yeah.
I mean, her energy was great.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay.
Wow.
It was fun. People were interacting and whatnot. So
Ryan wanted to know if you guys had any croissants or Grey Poupon.
We didn't have any Grey Poupon, but we did have croissants.
mhm.
And I will say, and you can speak for yourself because I'll just say it for me. I can never accurately judge a Disneyland macaron.
Macaron.
Yes, I was going to
Yeah.
ask you.
I can never accurately judge a Disneyland macaron ever again because I had the best one I've ever had in actual Paris itself,
Right.
and it blew. Like people will talk about like the raspberry one, and it's just
Right.
it's not like I'll always say, even if I say one is good, it will never be able to beat this. So it just kind of ruined those for me for like ever.
Dang. Oh, and what flavor macaron was it? Like, what kind was it?
It was just a basic strawberry.
Wow, but it was just that delicious.
No, that one was strawberry.
Okay.
We brought back the chocolate one.
I don't remember which one. They were good. I'm a macaron person, but he'll take 1 or 2 bites and be done. And this one, I'm like, hey, wait, let me finish my part, please.
Save me some.
Right?
I like macarons, but usually I'm like a 1 or 2 bite kind of person too. Unless
they're very rich,
really small ones
from
Kayla Cakes, that's different. But the Disney sized ones, I just need a bite or two because they are very sweet. They're very rich. That's not really my thing, you know.
Same. Like for the Snickers one, I'll just eat like an ear and I'm good.
Yeah,
right.
100%.
Yeah.
I guess we'll get to it. You had said your second favorite attraction was Big Thunder,
the first.
So I guess what was your first favorite attraction?
I mean, I think I already know.
I mean, I pretty know, but I don't know Jen's. I don't know.
I don't know Jen's. I think Jen said, didn't you say that Big Thunder was your number one?
Yeah, Big Thunder was my number one favorite there, I think.
Okay, so what's your number one, Q?
It is Phantom Manor. It lived up to the hype for sure. It's definitely like borderline PG-13 as far as like intensity goes.
Right.
But that I like that about it. I feel like it's almost like how in my head I don't ever compare our Guardians to Tower of Terror because they feel like two completely different rides in my head. Their Phantom Manor is completely different than Haunted Mansion, so I wouldn't compare one to the other because that's two totally different types of like stories that they've got going on in there. It is definitely like worth the trip to go over there just to see that.
Right.
When we got there, it was going to close on we got there on a Saturday. It was going to close on Monday. So Saturday and Sunday, we basically rode it like a bunch of times between those 2 days to try to have enough memory of it stored up to where I'll always forget it. And I bought merch from it. I went like all in because it was that well done.
That's literally the only attraction. Like we could go all the way to Disneyland Paris, and if I only rode Phantom Manor, I'm cool.
Yeah,
I could leave and be happy.
The trip was worth
it. I got a bunch of banger photos. Probably tried some good food and drink.
Yeah,
but all I need to do is if we were going and they like closed Phantom Manor, I'd cancel my trip.
That's what we were talking about.
That's what he actually said. Like we were looking at the refurb schedules, and he's like, if they change it, like we are not going. Yeah. So which it is what it is. I mean, hot take for me, Phantom Manor was good, but I don't know. We bicker about this. I don't know. I'm like, what's happening? Why is this lady trapped? What's up with this dude? Is he keeping her here? Is she dead too? What happened to her? Like, I'm trying to apply like our storyline, Bride, and then applying it there. And so I'm writing it more like, wait, why is she here? Wait, hold. And so I'm not just letting myself be immersed in the creepiness, I think.
And in Jen's defense, I will admit I hyped it up quite a bit going over there and talked about it nonstop. So she was probably sick of hearing about it by the time she got there.
Yeah, Phantom Manor is probably like my most like hyped ride out of all Disney park attractions. Yeah. It would be Phantom Manor, and then Mystic Manor is probably number 2.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited. So when we went on our Adventures by Disney trip last summer, as part of the trip there, they took us into Imagineering, and then at Imagineering, they as part of the demonstration of how they mixed the sound for rides, they actually played Mystic Manor on a screen for us and took us through the entire attraction with like the sound being played like live in the room to show us how they score like so we haven't exactly ridden it, but we've done like the most immersive like YouTube video version of it at this point. So it's cool.
Miss Eep said it's like Haunted Mansion and Frontierland had a baby and they named it Phantom Manor. And that's I mean that's accurate, right? Because the story for over there is that the owner of Phantom Manor also owned the mine. That they were mining.
It's all tied in together.
Together.
In fact, actually, one of the things that I got, which I have on the table here next to me, is they have these cool like newspaper prints.
Oh yeah, I saw you share them.
Yeah, so these are like prints that basically are supposed to be the
That is
newspaper
super cool.
talking about like what happened about after they reopened Phantom Manor, after they did the investigation into all like the murders and well, that's the thing, all the murders and deaths in there, which you would never see like in Disneyland, any kind of like merchandise talking about like, oh yeah, all these murders and deaths happen, and so now everything's all good now.
Yeah, you would never see anything like that.
No.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's cool, man. I love to hear it. You got some banger shots of it
thank
too. So, like a weird cough tonight. Doesn't want to go away. So I guess we got your favorite attraction. What was your least favorite attraction?
Oh, Indiana Jones.
Oh,
really?
No.
Yeah, it's a roller coaster over there, and that one hurt more than the Rock and Roller Coaster because it's Goofies with Matterhorn's track.
Oh.
And so it was incredibly painful. Like,
yeah, it's a weird like hybrid mousetrap coaster.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It has like a loop in there too.
Yeah.
Like you're like shaking the entire time. Yeah, definitely not like fun at all. Would you?
Yeah, that one was not. It was weird because you don't know what to expect, and then you get on it, and you're like, "Oh no, I don't enjoy this." I think
can I please get off?
Yeah, time out. Stop, please. I changed my mind.
Because it's an indie ride, it was closed most of the time out there because that's just what all indie rides do.
It's
they
nice
just close.
They keep the tradition.
Yeah.
Completely.
I think for me, the worst ride was the Cars road trip.
Yeah.
Is that what's called? Cars road trip. So they're, Walt Disney Studios used to have the studio tour in the back. So all of this crazy open space, and they've converted it to a Cars road trip where you go and you see all of the sites. Like it has like the world's biggest spark plug and whatever. But it's literally just the tram pulls you around and you look at all of these like concrete sculptures from Cars with maybe some sounds, and it's like 4.5 minutes, and you just drive in a circle. In like one of like the Universal Studio tram tour buses.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, like at the very least, if you're gonna do that, that's cool. But like, make it longer. Like throw some more things in it.
I didn't mind it just because of the sheer bizarreness of it, like the irony of like. And how weird they decide it was. I mean, at one part of the ride, they do like a catastrophe where like this flood, like at Universal, they'll have like the flood come down and like try to wash out a car. Except for like they set like this car from the World of Cars on fire. Right. And he's smiling the entire time he's burning and laughing, and it's really weird. So the weirdness of it like elevated it for me because it was just like the most bizarre thing. And
I just see Joe like getting a kick out of that.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, I'd have been traumatized by the fact that they're like lighting this car on fire while it's smiling. You know what I mean?
Right. He should be
like, hey guys, it's warm in here.
Yeah.
I mean, I think just their Cars area in general was just
bizarre.
And obviously we're very spoiled. We're very lucky and privileged to have the Cars land that we have and the scale of which we have. And maybe we take it for granted because we walk through their Cars land and again, what is this?
Yeah.
This is
It
was just very strange. They're
you know how like you'll go to a county fair and they'll have a teacups ride, but it's not like the teacups. That's exactly what it kind of felt like. It was the county fair version of like Radiator Springs.
Yeah, I was gonna call it the Six Flags version, but that was probably more accurate. Pumpkin wants to know, what were your favorite drinks?
I'm not a big wine or champagne person. I think that my rum drink that I had at Captain Jack's was some island tropical. I mean, right up my alley. Like it could have just been called Jen Drink This, and I would have ordered it. But I think that I did notice they had a lot of Fuse tea. So we used to have it here. We might still have it here, but it was Fuse peach tea. I mean, it was like Coke, Diet Coke, Sprite, Fuse tea. Those were your choices.
That's interesting. Yeah, it used to be pretty popular around here. I remember that.
Yeah. So I think that was probably my favorite drink. We didn't try they have hot wine. They have chowd, I think is how you say it. That's just French for hot. But we didn't try that. I don't like wine, so hot wine just sounds even worse than that. But Yeah.
I actually came away really liking espresso, like just straight espresso. So at the end of every meal at the sit-down restaurants, you could have like espresso or like hot tea or I think that was it, right? It was just those two.
Cappuccino.
Or cappuccino. And
Okay.
I just had like espresso at the end of my meal. And actually, I liked it so much, I bought an espresso machine just to have it here. So
Nice.
for me, that was like my favorite. And then it was really cool to be able to have like a sip of champagne in front of the castle. That's like
Yeah.
the coolest thing.
Yeah.
So that was awesome. But
Yeah. I've done that, but you're not supposed to.
in
I'm
the
not talking
past,
about.
right? Just like
Yeah.
the one weird thing, and I mentioned this in the stories, that I thought was kind of bizarre because Jen mentioned the fuse drinks, and it's not drink related, but it is food related. Is Paris loves them some chips because their stands had at least 12 different variations of chips.
Ooh.
And I actually posted on the story for someone to go look at ours because I was wondering, sometimes you'll just walk by something and you'll develop like,
Right.
you just don't notice it because you just
I'm
see it all
used
the
to
time.
seeing it.
Yeah. And someone went in and took a photo of our like the stand in Frontierland where the chips are there, and there's like 4 versus like there, every single stand had 14 varieties of chips.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was wild.
We get Doritos,
Lay's,
Cheetos.
Yeah, and Cheetos aren't everywhere.
No.
Right. They had like 6 different kinds of Lay's, and like 4 different kinds of Doritos. It was, and not like just like nacho cheese, Cool Ranch. It was like the odd flavors. So it was odd. Like they really love chips.
That's like one of our regrets is that we didn't buy some of those unique flavors while we were there and bring them home. But literally, like I cannot emphasize, every like cart, every stand, like you have your merchandise hanging, and then like the table or the baskets all around the bottom was all chips.
Yeah, 2 rows of chips, nothing but chips.
Wow. All right. So what is your favorite piece of merchandise that you brought back with you? Like your favorite
that's
souvenir?
a good question. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first? Do you know where your flex is?
My flex. Yeah, I know where my flex is. I'll go get my flex.
Okay. Well, she's going to go get her flex. I'll talk about mine. My favorite is actually I have it here on the table as well. It's actually this pin I got. So it's from Walt's Restaurant, and it's in a little matchbox, and you only get it if you dine at the restaurant.
Oh, that's cool. I remember you showing that on your story.
Yeah,
that was really neat.
That is actually like the coolest thing because they only offer it there. It's an extra 30 euros, which is like $31 or $32. But it was like the coolest thing because it's one of those nobody else will really have it if I wear it around the park or anything.
Yeah.
So that was like one of my favorite pieces. And then the newsprint I showed earlier is my other one because that's also really cool. I like the fact that they have attraction specific merch.
Yeah.
And so Jen is wearing her flex right now.
Well, I think we say that and then I like question myself. So it's a shoulder buddy.
He's so cute.
But it's a spider bot.
I love it.
It's a cloth spider bot. It's not metal.
Yeah. I don't know. I got an Naboo one as well.
Yeah.
We have him here. We had him at one point, somebody said, and he hasn't been around for a while. But the little spider bot shoulder buddy with the little magnetic thing.
Yeah. That would be cute if you could like push on him, like how little plushies have.
I know, right?
Right.
When we were there this last weekend, I kind of looked around because I was like, do they have it here? Am I just like confused?
I didn't see it.
But
no, I've never seen that here.
So, I'm not even like the shoulder, like I wear a backpack every day in the park. Like this he's flying off onto the ground. So he's, I don't do shoulder plushes, but I was like, okay, this guy was pretty cool. And then their downtown,
it's so cute.
Disney Village, Disney Village.
Tag, though.
They had at the Starbucks down there, they had an Avengers campus, like one of those like park mugs. So it was weird because they had the Avengers campus one at the Disney Village Starbucks, but there were no Avengers campus like mugs anywhere else. So it was kind of strange.
Oh, random thing talking about Disney Village and talking about how it's like the 90s there. They have a Disney store in their Disney Village, like an actual like branded Disney store.
Mhm.
Oh wow.
So, yeah, so it's like it still looks like the 90s like Disney stores.
Mhm.
That's cool. That is
Yeah.
actually pretty cool.
Which is very interesting. But I think that's probably my favorite little guy that I found there.
Did
And
you get your jersey?
I did. So I'm wearing the Disneyland Paris one. So it's the anchor and it has like the nautical stripes on it.
Yeah, that's cute.
I was really surprised at their they didn't have a lot of like unique Spirit jerseys. I saw a lot of the black ones. I saw a lot of the orangey, peachy colored ones.
Okay.
I saw this one. They didn't have a lot of it. Looked just like our Disneyland ones, except just had Paris like tagged after it. So I was looking for one that was kind of like unique. They did have an awesome Phantom Manor one.
I know.
I was dying to get because it was amazing, but it was like extra small and small. I'm like, cool, cover an arm. It'll be great.
Right. Let me buy 5 of these real quick.
Yeah, I know someone who could stitch it all together. It'll be great. But I was bummed about that because it was really cool. And even for a ride that was not my absolute favorite, that Spirit jersey was legit. So you found an Avengers jacket that you liked, but same thing. Like they had
an Avengers jacket that we don't have here, but it was all like kid sizes and stuff.
I guess it just means you guys have to go back.
I guess so.
Man.
Oh man.
Simon had to bounce to get back to work. He's probably already gone, but we're glad you were here, buddy. Thanks for hanging out. I guess one of the questions that popped up for us was one attraction that's at both parks, so there and here. And I'll even let you include Disney World since you guys have been there. But what attraction is better at one of our parks than it was over there?
Let's see. I like stuff.
And I guess it doesn't have to be the same exact. So I mean, I guess technically Indiana Jones was a good answer. Right?
Yeah, Indiana Jones is definitely. Oh, Autopia. So their Autopia there is very small.
Okay.
It's not even like 5 minutes long. You basically just kind of go in like a very small loop and come back.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they do have the electric cars there though. So I got a sneak preview of what our cars will look like eventually.
Yeah,
that's cool, right?
But I think the Autopia there is our Autopia is better by far. I think it's not a controversial stance to say that we have the best Autopia. I mean, I know it's not a lot of people's favorite ride, so I don't know if that's like woohoo.
Right. I know it's Jen's.
Right.
I know Jen loves it so much.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not quite the flex we think it is, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think the only other one that I would say is definitively better is I do like our train better as well. I think we also that I do think is a flex because I do think we have the best train out of any one of the 3 parks.
Okay.
Oh, awesome.
Their train is you start off with the Grand Canyon scene as soon as you take off from the station. So it immediately goes, as soon as you take off from Main Street, it immediately goes right into the Grand Canyon. And then there's no dinosaurs, and there's really no other scene anywhere else like really in the park. So it's a lot of like just kind of like the back of like the park basically.
Okay.
And it only has 2 stations, just a Fantasyland station and then the Main Street station, and that's it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think I know it's not exactly the question, but something to point out for their park is the dark ride vehicles.
Oh yeah, that was interesting.
Their dark ride vehicles are like 2 tiered. So like you have like your boat in Peter Pan, you have people in the front, and then you have a back row, but they're like leveled up higher.
Oh, that's cool.
In the front. And I think that was all of their dark rides. If I'm not mistaken.
They only had 2 other dark rides. They don't have very many dark rides there. They only have Snow White and Pinocchio, and those are actually 3 tiered. So like you have a front row, and then a slightly elevated second row, and then a slightly elevated third row. And so everyone can kind of see over the top, which makes it really nice.
Yeah, that's kind of like one of those cool quality of life updates, right?
Yeah, completely.
It's like trying to go back to like an old school movie theater nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah, completely. Yeah, it was that was a much better upgrade, I think. But yeah, I think it's just the train. I think would be the one. The train in Autopia, I think we definitely have better versions of.
Mhm.
I mean, other than like we talked about the car stuff, it's not as good out there. So that
Right.
you know what I mean. I would take Guardians over Flight Force.
Right. Right. Okay.
They do have
okay.
the old DCA version of Tower of Terror though.
Okay.
That's
But
creepy.
it is, yeah, that's another thing that Paris seems to like. All of their attractions that have any sort of hint of creepiness, they've definitely amped it up. Like they still have the scary version of Snow White with the whole like trees that are like coming
yeah,
at
yeah,
you.
yeah.
They still have that version.
They're like scarier than I remember too.
Mhm.
Like growling and like, or maybe just they work properly. Like
Right.
That's probably it.
like lunging at you, like the trees making noise and stuff. So yeah, it was a little, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot this was
But what's
scary, right?
neat is that their tower actually has a few different storylines like ours does. So there's 3 different storylines, and depending, you know, on which storyline you get, the story of the ride changes. Like
Oh, that's
in
cool.
our version, the little girl that was part of the whole like electrocution scene at the beginning, she's actually appears and starts warning you that something's chasing you. And then the entire ride, like every time the ride would stop, the elevator would stop, she's telling you that something's coming to get you and to watch out, basically, which makes it far freakier because it's a little girl basically warning you that something's coming after you the entire time.
Yeah, that sounds super creepy.
Yeah, telling you like you should have listened as you're, getting ready to. Yeah, no, thank you.
I can't wait.
No, thank you, little girl. You stay down there. Stay over there.
Dylan asked, this is a side kind of thing. He said, Nick, I do a little bit of modeling. I read modeling and I was like, dang, he's a model?
Epic guy has some competition now.
Right. Nick, I do a little bit of modeling on Blender. Would you be down for a custom park hopping duo model to print out? I absolutely would. We'll talk. That would be dope. I can send you our logo in a PNG if that helps. Let's see. So same question. Well, I guess you kind of already answered it. Well, at least, you guys both kind of already answered it. But I guess same question. But what attraction that we both have is better over there? I mean, obviously, their Big Thunder is much better.
Mm-hmm.
Phantom Manor better than Haunted Mansion.
And for me, they have my favorite version of space all year long. They have Hyperspace Mountain all the time.
Oh wow!
So it's always Star Wars themed, and it has some inversions. So it does have, I think it's a rollover and a corkscrew
and then a loop.
I think so. It's kind of a nice mix of our Space Mountain and like rock and roller coaster. So it's smooth. I don't feel like I'm gonna leave concussed, but it is still like kind of thrilling, and it has that Star Wars element. So I think that's probably one thing that they did better. Plus the whole like steampunk Jules Verne overlay. Like when you're standing outside of it, they have like an open tube that the car goes through that looks
right. Yeah, you can see that from the outside. It's so cool.
It's supposed to look like a cannon launching the car off, which is cool.
Right. I will say, not personally, even as a big Star Wars fan, not a fan of Hyperspace Mountain. Like I'm not a fan. So, but I can appreciate that if they're year round that you like that. I'm just not a fan.
Akbar just constantly shouting at the trap. Like you
how you guys said travel was pretty good, but like how easy was it? I mean, plane flights, getting from the airport to your hotel to the park, how was all
like
that?
Everything was pretty easy. Like no.
Good question. So we pay a little extra to get the direct flight, so we didn't have to worry about layovers and having our luggage there. It was long, 10.5 hours one way and then 11 hours the other way. So long flight. But we had like the slightly bigger seats, so that helped out because our we could stretch out our legs and everything. That was plenty of stuff there. The nice thing is that there's 2 ways to get to the park. You could they do have a Magic Express there that you can pay for to pick you up. So they still have that there. And that was fairly easy to find. everything's clearly marked on where to go to get there.
Okay.
The signs are all there, and then the guy comes and checks your voucher and just takes you directly and drops you off at your resort. But the other thing they have there is, as I'm sure you know, they have they're big on mass transit in Europe. And so there's a train that actually picks you up from the airport and will drop you off at Disneyland.
That's
And
awesome.
it's like a high-speed rail, and it's like 10 minutes. 10 minutes. It only takes 10 minutes to get from the park there. Driving, it takes about 45, but on the train, it takes about 10 minutes.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So it like you at that point it drops you off at like actual Disneyland. So there's a little bit of a walk to get to if you're staying on property, one of the hotels.
Right.
Because you have to walk through Disney Springs to get there at that point with your luggage, which is not fun. But like everything, it reminded me a lot of when we first went to Disney World back before COVID, when they Magical Express would pick you up, take you to your resort, drop you off, seamless, like
nothing to worry about.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was like.
The biggest thing though with their Magical Express and the train is that their hours are shortened. That was one thing that we had to kind of adjust to. So like the Magical Express, like it didn't pick anybody up before like 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. So like our flight was scheduled to leave Paris at 9 a.m. So when I went to go like book it, I was like, okay, how are we going to get to the airport? Because then the first train out was 7:50 a.m. So they do have their Magical Express has like basically an Uber service built in. So it's a little more expensive, but we were able to schedule someone to pick us up at 5 a.m. So it's built in. It's a Disney contracted employee as opposed to just going international with Uber and just praying for favor from the gods to make sure get us there.
You're like, Crystal, I know you're all the way over there, but here's my location.
Yes, exactly. So that was kind of a little surprising. That was the thing for the transportation. I think that was the biggest hurdle, but it wasn't a huge hurdle. It was just one of those things that very different from here. Their park hours are very different from here too. I don't think
they have much shorter park hours.
Like opened at 9:30, closed at 9:30. Like it's like short days compared to what we're used to here with our 8 a.m. to 12 a.m.
They do still have Magic Morning there for the hotel guests, so we had to go in there like an hour early.
That's cool.
And it works how it used to work here, where you just pick which one you want to go to. It's not like certain days. So, and you do get the full hour. So I do actually like that too. It would be nice if we could have the full hour back out here. That would actually make that
it would really make it useful.
Yeah.
All right. So I know you guys have like a stop at 8:30. So we're right there. I have two questions, and you guys can answer them quickly. How much? So I'm not asking how much you guys spent, so you don't have to disclaim that. How much do you think someone should save to enjoy this kind of trip, just to go to Disneyland, like Paris, do the parks, stay on property?
Sure. So I'll give you a dollar amount because I think it sells the point better. Take the flight out of it because I think that's always the most expensive part of any of these trips. Just talking about just for the hotel and the tickets and all that. So we stayed the resort we stayed at was the Sequoia Lodge, which basically looks exactly like the Grand Californian.
Traveled to Paris and stayed at the Grand.
So
that's how we roll.
So and it's over there. It's considered a moderate resort. So just to kind of give you the idea. So the Disneyland hotel that they have that's connected to the park, that's like your deluxe. So we stayed at a moderate level resort compared to like Disney World. And for 6 nights, they have a weird quirk there where every night you stay at the hotel, you have to buy a park ticket. Whether or not you're going to use it, you can't do it a la carte. So we stayed there we were there for like 6 nights, and even though we weren't going to go on our last day, and then the day that we went into Paris, we weren't going to use the ticket. We still had to pay for it, which kind of sucked. So, but all told, for all of that, for both of us, was $3,000.
Okay.
Which
that's not bad.
That's so. Disclaimer: we're taking the girls at Thanksgiving this year to stay at the Pixar Place Hotel down in Disneyland, and that's cheaper. The Paris trip is cheaper than what we're paying to go to Disneyland. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And having to buy a day ticket every day that you're even not going into the park.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, that's super affordable. That's
Yeah,
cool.
And then you
it-
can also do add-ons. They have the meal plans out in
Of course.
in Disneyland Paris.
They have the
Um,
excursions where you can go see like we went to go see Versailles and the Eiffel Tower. Then you can pay
Mhm.
through Disney to go do those days and stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But like it's incredibly reasonable.
Mhm.
The biggest expense is the flight. So it's
Right.
depending
Yeah.
on how you want to do that, the rest of it's
Right.
like totally reasonable.
Right. And then, so I'm going to deviate. I have one last question.
Yeah, go for it.
Pumpkin asked, I think they might have missed it. Does everyone speak English there? A lot. There's lots of
Yes.
English speaking.
Completely. They speak actually most people speak English, French, and Spanish. So like
it's interesting. I was more concerned. I didn't want to go over there and make a fool out of myself by speaking really poor Spanish or poor French.
Yeah.
So, and they were very nice about it. You know, if you would try, they'd just switch over to English, no big deal. We had one the Art of Animation Academy were doing the drawing. And it was funny because you can tell they have like it's scripted. Like he would say the same sentence in English, French, and Spanish in the same breath.
Right.
Like it's a script that he would like run through.
Right.
When you get in, like I remember in Autopia, they're like, you know, English, anglais, français, espagnol, like just like right away, like which one do you need me to speak?
That's crazy. That's
It was
awesome.
actually kind of cool too because when we were eating at Walt's, at the table next to us, there was another family and they were from Spain, but the husband was Italian.
Yeah.
And so the husband asked the waitress in Italian, you know, do you speak Italian? And she's like, no, but I speak Spanish. And then the wife's like, okay, we can do Spanish. And so it's just interesting that like they're so multilingual. It's just which one it's almost like it's almost like Star Wars in a way of like which one of these languages do you speak? And we'll just kind of find the common one that we kind of can share and then talk like that. So it's really kind of neat. Yeah.
What about the characters? The characters, do they speak
English or French, depending on whoever you spoke to them in.
Okay, because I know like at I think my friend, she also went to Shanghai and she didn't have to learn Chinese whatsoever because Snow White only speaks English.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder if though if it's because it's European, they expect, you know what I mean, they're European fairy tales. They probably figure that you should speak French.
Yeah.
But anyway,
because she also was friends with Belle, but she couldn't play Belle there because she didn't speak French.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if it still is at Shanghai. Like whatever the character is, like she would have to know that language as well.
That's cool.
Yeah,
we did see a couple of the shows that are there, and the characters did go back and forth. Like they would speak. Like we saw the Frozen, whatever their Frozen show is. And it was interesting because Kristoff spoke in English the whole time, but then when Anna would speak, she was always in French. And then Elsa would switch back and forth. She would sing in French.
It was like dinner at my grandma's house.
A little bit in English. So it was definitely it was interesting, but like you get the gist. Like you understand still kind of what they're saying.
Yeah, like we saw
interesting.
Another one of their stage shows called Mickey and the Magician.
Oh my gosh, that's good.
And Mickey was always French, but then all the other characters would like switch back and forth.
Okay.
And it was like talking Mickey too, so it was like which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is very, very friendly for like English speakers there.
That's awesome. Yeah, Mickey said the Guardians of the Galaxy dance off. They switched back and forth from English to French, and it was perfectly understandable. So that's super cool.
Yeah,
you still get all the context clues, and so it was very inclusive. I didn't feel like I won't say left out. That's a weird phrasing for it, but you know, I didn't feel like I was missing anything.
Right.
I didn't feel like I was a burden on anybody because I didn't understand other languages. So that was nice.
That's cool.
I want to make sure that we answer. Is there any other questions that came in? Just because I know you.
One more question that Nick had, I think.
Yeah.
No other questions I saw in here.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can answer the one more question. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, the last question I have is just what was the best part of the trip for each of you?
Oh, it's actually on your screen, kind of. That drone show, I'm actually going to be posting a reel of it tomorrow, is the most incredible thing I've ever seen. Like,
awesome.
I was blown away, especially because, I mean, the Paris Castle is roughly about, like, at least it feels the same size as, like, the Magic Kingdom Castle.
Right.
And, like, scale and grandeur, and to see like the pirate ship, the size and scale bigger than that flying behind it,
right.
blows your mind of like how amazing it is. And I mean, hot take, I don't really care for the electrical parade that much, but this version I'm down with. Bring that one here and I'll be fine with it.
Like when we, there are very few things in your life where your jaw drops, like literally, and this was one of them. Like when that music hit, I think the first thing that pops up is the blue fairy.
Yeah. And she's as tall as the castle.
I mean, I just glanced over and his mouth was just open, just like,
oh my gosh, how awesome. I cannot wait to see this reel.
I think for me, that obviously was probably the top spot, but I also really appreciate and enjoyed the shows that Disneyland Paris has. So they still have stage shows there. So we saw a couple of those. Like I said, Mickey and the Magician. There was a Pixar Better Together, which was like a musical Toy Story Pixar themed thing going through it.
It was technologically impressive as well because the characters would it was done with stages and screens and stuff, and the characters would shift in and out. And they would go basic premise of it is that this kid was conducting an orchestra. He goes to sleep. His orchestra pages end up in all these different spots, and so each of the Toy Story characters go retrieve one of the pages, and the pages are just in locations or other Pixar movies. So in the Fish Tank, they're in Finding Nemo, or you know what I mean. They'll go into Ratatouille because it went in the events somewhere. You know what I mean. And the background stages would shift and change into different locations. Plus,
that sounds awesome.
Plus, they played the music live. There was a live orchestra playing the music for it.
Okay.
They are so serious about it too that you are not allowed to videotape or record any part of, or take photographs of any of it. They actually had people walking the aisles the entire time, checking to make sure that you weren't recording. It was which I get because it's impressive.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've never seen that show on YouTube, so that would probably be why.
It's I mean watching the live performers. The orchestra performers was amazing. Just like they would switch out instruments. The bass player played the upright bass as well as the electric bass. And I mean, he was getting into it.
That's awesome.
But I mean, even their shows, like their Splashes of Color parade stage, I don't even know what it is. That thing felt like it was 40 minutes long.
It was a good 15 minutes long. And it's not the main parade. It was just a stage show.
Yeah. Dancing. And I don't know. They
definitely have good live entertainment there.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That's something that I feel like we're missing a little bit of.
Yeah,
unless you go.
I was talking with Noah yesterday. We used to have the Snow White show, over where Magical Map is, and we were just talking about how much we miss that stuff.
And it's sad that Hyperion is still closed since last summer.
We were just talking about Hyperion, walking down Hollywood Boulevard, going that. It's so sad that it's empty. I mean, I think that's a space that they're working on getting. I know it's also different because we have the unions and we have different stuff with the performing stuff, but that's something that I enjoyed there that I do wish that we had back here. So I think that drone show is definitely first, but then just their live entertainment, I think would probably be second for me.
Yeah.
It's a bummer that we'll probably never get a drone show at Disney. Unless they build a space into somewhere in Disneyland Forward.
Yeah, completely. Yeah, we would have to go. I think the closest we'll get is Disney World.
Yeah, Disney World could definitely get a drone show. The only way I could see, and we'd need if Disneyland Forward carved out a giant lagoon, much bigger than California Adventure has,
right?
Where. And you could maybe do it over. I don't know what the legal rules are. You could maybe get away with it over Tom Sawyer Island, though. I just don't know how many feet they have to have, for wind drift. But if you brought a barge out at showtime and launched in some kind of lagoon, you could get away with it because any drone that falls is going to fall in the water.
Right.
Or same thing if you did it over Tom Sawyer's Island. But it wouldn't be the grandeur that Paris is doing it at, right?
Yeah. The farther back you stand, the better the effect is. So I don't know if we'd have enough
distance,
lateral space. I don't know if that's the right phrase from where the drones would be, but
Yeah,
It's
Val
supposed to
asked if
go away.
Disneyland would be too close to John Wayne Airport for a drone show, and it definitely wouldn't be. Disneyland is its own no-fly zone, so
Right.
they could do it, but there's a lot of legalities about flying over people and near people.
Yeah.
Right, because you have a drone too, right, Nick? And you have to kind of like worry about that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not like a certified operator, so I will launch where I'm not supposed to. But there are still like a lot of rules you have to follow about like flying over people and cars and being able to keep your eyes on it. That doesn't necessarily apply to like this,
Right?
But yeah, they have to account. I know that for other drone shows, like at fairs and stuff, they have to account for like if it's breezy and a drone fails, can it drift in the wind into crowd?
Right.
You know. So, but yeah, I mean, most of those drones are pretty small, so they're not really going to hurt you. But I mean, yeah. Well, I really appreciate it. I know Chris, you guys spending your evening with us, and I know everybody in chat enjoyed hearing about it. So it sounds like the next big trip is just back down here with the girls for Thanksgiving.
Well, we'll actually be there for Star Wars night in May, because we'll be there. I'm going to the actual Star Wars night on May 2nd, and then Jen's coming down for actual May 4th to be there that weekend. So we'll be there that weekend. Yeah.
Awesome. And I don't think we told chat, we haven't posted it. I meant to get it out this weekend. I just haven't yet. Photo meetup for May 4th, so that should be a lot of fun.
Yes,
completely. I'm really excited and looking forward to that. I've actually built my whole Saturday around that. So
that's awesome.
That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you guys.
And if anybody has any questions, just send me a DM and I'm happy to answer anything.
Yes.
Perfect. We love it.
Awesome. Well, you guys have a wonderful rest of your night. And
tell the girls we said hi.
Yeah, tell the girls we said hi. We look forward to seeing you guys in May.
Yes.
Definitely. Bye, everyone.
All right, y'all. Thank you.
You guys have a good one.
All right.
Yeah.
Now that they're no, I'm just kidding. That was awesome. It sounds like they had a really good time.
Dude, honestly, like, me and Jen had plans on like talking the whole time. Like,
yeah.
She was like, "Oh yeah, I'll send you all these pictures," and we only talked the first day we were there.
Yeah.
And I was like, "I totally understand. Enjoy your time. Like, I'm not gonna be bugging you every day."
Dude, and you know, Q was putting out content.
Oh,
so
yeah.
like they were busy.
Yes.
Yeah. Brian said, yes, I have a resi for May 4th.
Yay!
So Brian will be at the photo meetup. That's awesome.
Fun.
Super glad to hear that. What else? Not a lot going on.
No. So hi guys.
Yeah,
we're back.
Hello, we're back.
We jumped into that so quick because we knew Q had such a like time frame.
Yeah, they had a little bit of like a tight schedule, so we were like, let's just jump right into it.
Yeah.
So we could maximize time with them. What's going on, Chris?
Nothing much with me. The puppies are doing great. What else? For anybody that like cares on my like personal health well-being, I have decided to stop taking, or not stop taking. I didn't cold turkey anything. I've decreased my intake of my medicine because I feel like it hasn't been helping, and I feel like I've been getting kind of worse. Like I have more cramping, more like pain. I've been getting headaches more. Back to not sleeping. So I was like, I'm just gonna take a step back, redo everything because these meds aren't working for me, and I want to like have them out of my system completely before I go back to my doctor and be like, hey, can we like do a new drawing board a whole year later? Yeah. So that's it for me. But yeah, the puppies are doing great.
Yeah, Val said the pups. How are they?
The pups are doing great. We weighed them yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday or the day before.
Yeah, yesterday or the day before. So when we first got Tessie, she was just under 5 pounds.
Just under 5 pounds.
And now she is just over
15
just
pounds.
Over, like she's 15.2 pounds now. And then Kai, when we got him, he was 6 pounds. And like he was like 6.7 pounds. And now he's like 20.8 pounds.
Yeah.
So yeah,
they're getting big. Even my dad noticed it today.
Yeah.
My dad was going up the stairs. He's like, "Oh, the dogs are getting big."
We could see it when they stand next to Bailey. Like they're the same size as Bailey.
Well, and we are taking my dad to Arizona on Saturday. He's going to stay with a friend for a week. So we're gonna drive him out to Arizona. It's like a 4-hour drive there, 4
Yes.
hours back. And we were like, let's go to the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
We'll drop my dad off. It's 2 hours to the South Rim from there.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get a hotel just overnight. We'll take the puppies. We'll leave the older dogs with Crystal's parents.
Yeah, Bailey's not great with car rides.
Bailey, yeah, especially
I'm
that
gonna
long.
shut this door.
Yeah, it's pretty warm.
I can't reach it.
Don't fall on camera.
It'll be funny.
You're not on camera enough. So we were gonna go to
The Grand Canyon.
the Grand Canyon, but with how big the dogs are getting, it's really, we drive like a Camry.
Yeah.
Like it's not super comfortable for 3 adults because we gotta take my dad
Yeah.
and the puppies in the back seat. They'll be
Mhm.
like, they'll have no room to move.
No.
So we decided we're not doing that.
No.
So we just decided that today.
Yeah.
So we're not doing that. We'll figure something else out. Hopefully a new car in the works next year. But
Yeah.
Brian said he just ordered the A7 C2.
Nice.
Love it. We love that.
Yeah.
We're still using the A7C here,
Mm-hmm.
but Crystal shoots with the A7C2
Yeah, I love it.
and loves it. Yeah. Big Guy said, how has PhD fam been? Overall, like Crystal said, pretty good.
Yeah.
I've just been busy with work.
Oh gosh, yes.
Built a new PC. If you guys are on Discord, you would have seen that on Discord.
Mhm.
I have a lovely video of Jay on my cooler. It's really cool.
All thanks to Ivan.
Yes, thank you, Ivan. I had a great birthday. I know we didn't stream.
I know.
Had a great birthday though. It was like just low key with some friends, spent some time with some family. It was really
Yeah.
nice though.
We did have a lot of fun.
Bought a 3D printer
And
last week.
He has been having so much fun with it.
I have been actually using it.
His way to like make me accept it, he printed me a planner.
10-hour print.
Yeah.
I dedicated 10 hours of print time to that.
10 hours of our sleeping time.
7 hours of it was sleeping. But yeah. So it's been really cool. I bought a Bamboo Labs printer. It's enclosed. It's in the dining room right now,
Yeah.
technically. But I think I'm gonna get into the garage. Lex said, "Did you guys get Pride Night tickets?" We didn't.
Nope.
We forgot about it.
We're still deciding.
And we want to go opening night. So if we do go, that's the night we'll get. When I checked, there were tickets available still.
Right.
I don't know now, but I don't know. I just didn't really feel like spending $300 today.
Yeah.
I don't know. We want to go. I just don't know if I want to spend the money. Louis said, kind of sad that it's much cheaper to go to a foreign country than to go to Disneyland. It is. It's pretty bummed.
Yeah.
To be honest, though, even Disney World to me feels more affordable than Disneyland. Usually.
Yes.
So, and that might be biased. Like I'm willing to spend more money
Going on a vacation.
Going on a vacation, yeah, than a staycation. So,
yeah.
Louis had asked how was my birthday. I didn't see that, but it was great, dude.
Yeah.
Drank some whiskey, hung out with friends.
You got a lot of whiskeys.
It was really good. Pow said finding meds that work are a journey. Isn't that the truth?
No,
Isn't that
it
the
is.
truth? I even said Nick had a great B-Day. Oh, I did. You guys made it special. So, Pow said, y'all inspired me to get a new puppy, and now I have a new puppy, and my 6-year-old pup just stares at me like, what did you do?
Oh my gosh, what kind of dog did you get?
Yeah, what did you get? What did you name them?
Hold on. They heard
Crystal. The puppies are in the living room. They heard Crystal.
Oh my gosh.
Dylan said,
they're a lot of work. Oh my gosh. But it's so rewarding in the long run.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. There are days I'm like, what did we do?
Yeah, well, Kai.
Not even days. There's just moments.
Yeah. Yeah. And like they're fully potty trained now, so that helps tremendously. But we think Kai might have like some type of bladder issue because like there's days when he can like hold it all day, and there's days when he's like, hey, I gotta pee. Let me just go now. And yeah.
Yeah, it seems like there might be something wrong. So we're gonna take him and just get him checked out.
A vet appointment set up for him. So we're gonna see. He's my little baby.
Dylan said the new PC is sick. Thank you.
Yeah.
Jason, is that still there? Oh yeah, your face is on it still. It aired out right now because I have too many things plugged in. But it definitely it's definitely there. Dylan said having a 3D printer must be so fun. It is. It's really cool. I've printed.
It's to the point where I'm sending him stuff that I want now.
Yeah, I printed some towel rings for the bathroom.
Yes.
I printed a bunch of Lego stands I'm sending to a buddy. I've just been printing out just random stuff, trying to.
I have been printing out shelves for me.
really like learn it, you know.
Yeah.
I do want to get into 3D modeling though. So, yo, what's up, Alex? Good to see you. Good to see you.
Yeah.
My 6-year-old is Scully, and my baby girl is named Sokka. Soka, maybe? Yeah. Sokka's
Sokka's your favorite TikToker.
is from TikTok. They're both little terrier mixes. How awesome.
I'm glad that they're like closer in age because we have Bailey is our youngest and she is 11 and she looks at us like,
what you do?
These little shits.
Yeah.
Get these little shits out of my face.
Yeah. JD's not a fan either.
No, JD's not a fan, but he will tolerate them for treats.
Yes.
Yes.
They all kind of will, to be honest.
Right.
For treats.
Yes, but Bailey, like, it's funny because they'll all be sitting for their treats, and like, here's Tessie and Kai, here's JD, and then here's Bailey.
Yeah, and it's funny because we have like a dog gate that like keeps them in the living room. We have a decent sized living room.
Yeah,
and so like if we're just watching TV or eating dinner or just hanging out,
yeah.
If I'm not in the living room, Bailey's wherever I am, which is usually in the office here.
Well, that's always been Bailey from the beginning.
She's always like at work. Like Bailey's like, oh, I gotta go to work, right?
Yeah.
Chris will tell her go to work, and she'll come in here. But it's so funny. We'll all be in the living room together as like a family with all the dogs and us, and like you'll just see Bailey push the gate open and try to come to the office by herself.
Yeah.
Like I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
So it's pretty funny.
Like 20 minutes of family time is all you got.
Yeah, that's all you get. Cujo said, "What's up, duo? Always dope seeing you guys. So glad you and the pups are good. Thank you. It's good to see you as well." Big Guy said, "Can you show off some more of your 3D prints if possible?" You know what? I will post them on the tech channel in the Discord. Yeah. I don't have them like around me. They're all like over the house. But I will post some pictures so you guys can see them.
Yeah, definitely. If anybody wants a link for that, like let me know.
I will post it. Big Guy said perhaps a 3D printer video. I did start a 3D printer Instagram. I haven't posted yet, but I got it saved up. So once I get a post up there, I'll put that on our Park Hopping Duo story. Mm-hmm. So if you guys are interested in 3D printing, you guys can come and learn with me. Yeah. Because I have no experience in any of this. No. But I will say I did a lot of research because that's what I'm good at is focusing in on something.
Hyper-focusing.
And the Bamboo Labs, man, they weren't joking when they said you can have it ready to go in 20-ish minutes of printing. Like I literally had it
Pulled
done.
It out of the box and done.
Yeah.
The hardest part was pulling it out of the box.
Yeah, because it's pretty heavy. It was decently heavy, so that was literally the hardest part. And then there's a bunch of screws to like take the love, but it's amazing, dude. I'm loving it. It is a pricey 3D printer though. It's not super affordable, but they have a smaller version that's very affordable. Lex said print ears. You know, I really do want to. Mm-hmm. I have one. That's one reason I want to get into the 3D modeling. Yeah. There are a lot of options. I don't want to like straight rip off Imaginext ears though. Right. But I would like to be able to print some ears to use on their system, you know? Mm-hmm. So we'll see. Highly recommend Blender, way better than Maya. Okay, that's good to know. 3D print PhD logos. You know what I want to do is I actually want to print like a coin.
Oh, that'd be
like
cool.
A challenge coin.
Yeah.
You know?
I was going to say, I had sent you the one on how to make the, like, our Mickey head. Yes. 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 I want to make one for us.
Yes. Yes. I want to do something like that. And then the challenge coins, I want to do like just, it probably won't say part, it'll probably just say PhD. Mm-hmm. But on the other side, I want the QR code. Oh. So they scan it and it takes them to our profile. Yeah. And they can follow everything from there.
That's awesome.
So no more buttons. We would just hand these out. Yeah. I think it'd be cooler. Yeah. And it probably cost way less. Yeah. You know, I just need to get that figured out. Yeah. So, you know.
I also have been like.
Dylan, if you want to make a couple bucks.
Yeah. I've also been like hard researching into how to do the modeling.
Lex said Grogu ears. It's not ripping off if you don't print the same. No, you're 100% right. It's absolutely not ripping off. It's not the same designs. You're right. 100% right. I don't plan on ripping off any of their system. No. But I will try to figure out how to make it work with their system. Yeah. With the magnets, I got to figure out how that works. Because I will say, Imaginext ears, man, I have seen other 3D printed ears being sold. They are not janky. They do a very good job. Yes. You know. They embed the magnets very well. You don't see them. So I don't know if the printer stops printing or they pause it. You can set it to pause at a certain spot, but they embed the 3 magnets and then finish the print.
Yeah.
Over the magnets. So there's no, you can't see the magnets.
It's not exposed at all.
You can see them in the light.
Yeah, that's what I was looking right now.
Yeah,
to see.
you can see there's 3 magnets.
Yeah.
They do a great job. So, Ivan said I want a first run coin collector's item.
Done.
Yes.
It'll say first edition on it.
Yes. All moderators will get first run coins.
Chrome paint them, that'd be cool.
Disney style park pins would be awesome. Chrome paint them. Yeah. I was actually watching this really cool video. It takes it to the next level of I don't know what the process is called, but it is plating, where you put the product in like.
Oh, the one you were watching yesterday.
Yeah.
Yes.
He uses a certain kind of like metallic paint or paint that allows it to be like
chrome.
Well, yeah, you have to go through stages. Like first it's copper, and then the copper allows the next metal to stick, and then he polishes it. I think it's really cool. You know.
Yeah.
Okay, so. For a lot of my project with magnets, I will have the printer pause so I can have them flush. That's awesome. Okay. Oh, Dylan said I actually used to be an electroplater at my old job, and then I'm gonna say Marion. I hope I'm saying that right.
Yeah, it looks right.
I can't tell if it's an A or an O, but I think Marion is better than Morion. So, electroplating. Yeah, that's exactly what it's called. Thank you. Yeah, I need to learn how to do this. I'm sure there are lots of great tutorials out there once I get there. I haven't even printed in. So I bought the Bamboo P1S for anybody out here that's familiar with 3D printers with the AMS add-on. So as of right now, I can print 4 color prints without doing anything.
Yeah.
I have not tried printing a 4 color print yet. I've only printed 1 color prints. I printed a PS5 controller hanger, a headphone hanger. I printed this Stormtrooper Mickey and Minnie. They came out. The supports would not let go. It was terrible.
Yeah. Yours did a lot better than the Mini did.
They have a lot of thicker spots. The Mini had a lot of weak spots.
Yeah.
So, have you seen 3D printers that do metal? I haven't seen a 3D printer that does metal. I've seen them that do metal-looking filaments. I've seen carbon fiber filaments. The only thing I've seen with 3D prints that is metal seems to be they're electroplated. That's what I've heard. I've heard that. So, Marion said I have the X1, which is like the big brother to mine.
Oh, okay.
That's the one I wanted, but it was like, I don't know. I can't justify the extra like $600 or $700. Multicolored prints are awesome, but use a lot of material when switching. And that is something I read because as to purge the filament, that is like the downside to them all using one nozzle. I also regret when I bought it from Bamboo, I would have gotten a better discount had I bought the extra nozzles with it. And I did. It was like, I don't know if I need these. I'm not buying them. And now I'm like, well, I wish I would have bought like a 0.8 nozzle and a 0.2, but I'll get them eventually. I have a habit of going like all in on stuff and then never getting into it.
But can you email them and be like, hey, my wife bought me this. Like, she didn't realize I needed these. Like, can I add them on? Type of deal.
I don't know. I mean, if I can learn to model, I would like to sell stuff, right?
Yes.
And if we get to that point, we'll buy another printer.
Right.
Because you can't really run a business with just one printer. It's crazy because I was telling Crystal, they're faster than they've ever been, right? Like 3D printing, to get into it now, I'm sure it sounds like Marion's probably been doing it a while.
Yeah.
Dylan seems like he's been around it for a while. Like, it was like the Wild West back then.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, to get into it now, my printer is so fast, but I'm still like, oh, my God, 2 hours for these stands, like...
But Nick is very impatient.
I am impatient. Sometimes I'll just stand there and watch it for, like, 10 minutes.
Yeah. So, like, the other night I came... Oh, when we were making my shelf that I asked for.
Yeah.
We came downstairs. I fed the dogs. He's like, did you check the rent? And I was like, no, it didn't come across my mind. And he's like, that would have been the first thing I checked. And I was like, well... That's the first thing on your mind. My first thing on my mind is to get the Bubby's bed.
No, the first thing on my mind was like, how's the print look? I already knew how it looked. I checked it from my phone.
Yeah.
That's the cool thing about the Bamboo printers. I'm sure lots of other printers, but they have like a camera in them that you can check. So, Marion said I started in 2016 and they were slower than paint drying. Wow, that's crazy.
Wow.
Marion, if you create prints that you sell on like Etsy or some other website, feel free to drop it in the chat. Like,
yeah,
100% okay with you doing that. We appreciate you being here, and I'd love to take a look at some of the stuff you create.
If you have a store shop,
if you have a store or an Instagram that directs people to your store. Or even if it's just an IG that you do it for fun. I don't know like how professional at a level you do it, but I would love to take a look.
Danielle was in here earlier. She said hi. We were talking with Q. So if you're still in here, Danielle, hi.
Yes. Danielle, I have something for you to paint. No, I'm just kidding.
A little Mickey.
A little Mickey. He did come out pretty good.
Yeah.
For how stuck the supports were to him.
Yes.
He
literally looked like a freaking box.
Yeah, the quality of print is pretty good. Oh, okay. Yeah. See, and that's me. I'm gonna have to do that too because I'm not trying to just steal. I know a lot of people just download stuff off Thingiverse and then try to sell them, and unless the file you downloaded is open for commercial use, like you're not supposed to do that. So I don't want to steal from other people. I want to make sure we're doing it the right way. Epic Guy will be returning to Northern California full time starting July. Very sad news. That is very sad. We're
gonna have a goodbye party.
Yes.
We're gonna have to do something.
We should do something.
He's gonna be the photo model.
Yeah. We'll have to do something before he leaves.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he'll visit often.
Yeah.
But still.
Yeah, Dylan's next line says he will visit often. I mean, the upside is Northern Cali is not that far.
Right.
It's not like if somebody moved back to the East Coast. Right. Or even the Midwest. So yeah, definitely a bummer. Sorry to see you go, but totally get it.
Right.
Especially in this economy, if that's part of the reason.
For sure.
We get that.
Yeah. I'm ready to move back in with my parents.
For real, dude. These bills, bro. Like,
who said we were adults enough to do this?
Yeah, not me. My buddy at work's like, I'm gonna go look at buying a car today, and he has 3 car payments. I'm like, dog, you don't make that much more than me, but man, I don't know how you're doing it. What else has been going on? That's pretty much it. We have not been to the parks like at all.
No, we were supposed to be there on Saturday, but I had a bad flare up.
I mean, honestly, Christmas flare up or not, we weren't going. Yeah. I was not feeling it. My lymphedema has been like giving me so many problems lately. I just was not feeling it. So, and then Brian said that side hustle life, we did find ourselves at Knott's on Sunday, but not to go to the park. We did a photo shoot outside of the park.
Yeah.
And that was cool.
It was so much fun.
It was fun. Yeah. The photo shoot was actually centered around Independence Hall. So it's kind of cool.
Beautiful background.
Yeah. I haven't been over there in years.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Like I got home and I told my dad we had a photo shoot. And he was like, oh, where? And I was like, oh, Knott's. He's like, oh, that's cool. And then he's like, where at in Knott's? And I was like, oh, at Independence Hall. And he's like, I heard him get up out of his chair. And like, he loves Independence Hall. And last time I took him, the time I tried to take him to Independence Hall, it was closed for refurbishments. Mm-hmm. And then we haven't tried to go over there since then. So maybe one of these days, I'm just going to drive my dad on a Saturday down. That's actually a really good idea. Mm-hmm. Just throw him in the car, free parking, park by Independence Hall, walk over there. Let them walk around, complain that it's not like it used to be, and then we come home.
Yeah. Get some chicken lunch.
Oh, that's a good idea. Mm-hmm. I don't really want to walk over there, though. Well, that's not that bad, actually. Yeah. It's not that far.
I mean, just hop in the car and go park in.
That's true. I think that would even be worse, to be honest. To just walk under the bridge.
Yeah.
How's the Park Hopping Duo WoW Guild going? It's good. Crystal hasn't been playing since we got the puppies.
Ever since we got the puppies, I haven't been able to play.
I think she'll be back pretty soon, though.
I was gonna say, yeah. We're at a schedule now where they seem to take their nap at like 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
And especially if I leave them outside playing all morning. Like today, I left them in the morning while I went to go run errands, and when I came home and brought them in,
dude.
They did not even want their little chew sticks or anything. I was like, oh, okay. So we could totally do that, and yeah. I can be back to wowing.
Yeah, I think that would be really...
But Nick's been pretty good on Helldiver, though.
Yeah, I haven't been playing WoW, so I was going to say. Mm-hmm. I mean, I was kind of burnt out from Season 3 in WoW. Season 4 is about to start, so nice. Not new raids, but they're changing it up. But I've been playing Helldivers, like, a lot. So I've been enjoying that.
Yeah.
Just spreading democracy with the boys. That's the way to do it, Louis said, will we get to see Nick's tribute video? We talked about it, and then it kind of fell off. We forgot about it.
Yeah.
We did talk about posting it over here.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about making it maybe members only.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if people want to see the video,
Yeah.
It was a beautiful video. So anybody who was able to take part in that was awesome. We'll figure it out, Louis. We'll figure it out. Brian, dude, I get tired at the theme parks now. I need to get in theme park shape. Dude, I mean, that's definitely a real thing when you stop going. But I just haven't been feeling it. Like, I think I just haven't been in, like, the mental place for, like, stuff, people.
Right.
Right. So I'm feeling better though, feeling good. So
and you always are like that. Like, you're like not in the mood, but then as soon as we get there, you're like, okay, I'm good. Like, it's just getting you there.
Getting there, yeah. We will be there for Pixar Day whenever that is. That's not next. Yeah, the end of the month. I don't know if we'll be at the parks before that. We do want to go check out Season of the Force, though.
Yeah, I honestly think next week Nick has no work.
Yeah, I took the week off while my dad's gone, so we may dip into the parks every now and then.
Yeah,
for like half day or evening trips because it's easier.
Mm-hmm.
The puppies, for me, I feel like the puppies really like mess with the schedule for me. Because like we're finally getting to the point where they can be like left without destroying everything or destroying their kennel and their beds. But that was the big thing for me because it's like from the house, let's just say hour and a half to the parks, 30 minutes to get from your car into the park. So we're already been gone 2 hours and we haven't done anything yet.
Yeah.
So then I feel like, okay, 2 hours in the park, 3 hours, and then let's leave.
Yeah.
And we're more like, I like to go afternoon, close the park. Like,
yeah. Which I feel like is fine because they eat dinner at 5. Like I can bump their dinner up to 4 and we'd be out of the house by 5.
Well, now, but like last month, not so much. It was like we have to wait for them to go to the bathroom after they eat, and that would be like hours. Now it's like 20 minutes.
Yeah, so now it's just trying to figure out what's going on with Kai.
Yeah. Epic Crew loves in a pants hall, super cool. It's a dope spot. Yeah. It's a dope spot. We hadn't been over there in forever. I don't think much had changed. I don't remember. I know you like walk in, you have the Liberty Bell replica, and then you kind of walk in and they have all the desks where it was, the replica desks. And then the other side has the big store. I don't remember that always being like a huge ass gift shop.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. I don't remember it that way, but basically the last time I was over by Independence Hall, you couldn't, I don't remember Soak City being there.
Yeah.
Like I was like Soak City's right here. Like,
yeah,
they don't even try to hide it. Like, it's like Independence Hall, Soak City, you know? It's
like
crazy.
The river that runs in front of it.
Yeah, they may as well have just themed that part around it to colonial America. It's so close. So, but yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
It was nice to see it. What else? Like Christmas, I do have next week off. I do really want to like get the garage organized a little bit at least, which can be tough when my dad's home because he wants to like go through everything, even though he like knows what it is.
Yeah.
So that'll be probably easier while he's gone.
Yeah.
But other than that, not too much. We'll maybe catch up on some movies.
Yeah.
We did see Godzilla X Con.
Yes.
Kong X Con. He's the ex-con. He's
an ex-con.
Trying to get on with his life,
Yeah.
He's not letting his past define. He's not letting his past define the lizard he knows he can be. But no, we saw Godzilla and Kong. I liked it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Like a little piece of me is very happy every time I hear Godzilla charge up.
Oh yeah,
it's one of my favorite sounds.
Seriously, his favorite sound.
It's like I'm surprised it's not like my alarm or something, honestly. But yeah, we enjoyed it though. Overall, it was pretty good. Trying to think of like we've been watching Bad Batch. Ted
Lasso.
Oh, dude, Ted Lasso, so good.
Yes,
so good.
It's to the point where
I
feel like Nick is Middle Eastern. Is from not Middle Eastern. Is from the Midwest.
There we go.
Midwest.
Yeah.
Because every now and then he'd be like, "My dad once said," and like uses his accent and like does some like daddy quote.
Yeah. Enjoying. I had seen a lot of like pieces of Ted Lasso and like leadership courses, and you totally get why watching the show. Really good though. I relate a lot. I think a lot of people in leadership positions should be able to relate or learn something from it. We, like I said, we've been watching Bad Batch. That's probably not going to have a happy ending.
No.
Since none of those characters have showed up anywhere else yet.
Yeah. We finished, where we all were caught up on, what was the space movie?
The space show.
Yeah, the space show. Why can't I think of the name of it?
I can't think of it either.
For All Mankind.
Yeah, we're caught up on that, waiting for them to announce the next season.
Yes. I've restarted my Grey's Anatomy.
We haven't finished Masters of the Air.
No, we have not.
We haven't had time, and we've been like letting the puppies run around while we eat.
Yeah.
And like Masters of the Air, like Ted Lasso, you can watch and
pause
and like
pick back up
really easily.
Yeah.
But like I don't. That's why we haven't watched a lot of the new movies either. Like we haven't sat down and watched like Oppenheimer because I know like I don't want to pause it. You know.
Yeah. For all like Marion just asked or said that she's been wanting to watch, or I'm sorry if you're a girl or a guy. I feel so horrible. They have been wanting to watch it. I heard it was great. It's amazing. Absolutely love it.
It's probably one of the best shows I've ever watched.
Yes.
It's one of every season I feel like got better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like the first 2 seasons though were my favorite, but they're all very good.
Very, very
good. Big Guy said, what movies are you looking forward to seeing?
Oh my goodness.
Deadpool and Wolverine is
of
like
course.
pretty high up there. I don't know. You know, let's real quick before we do that. Lou said, gotta go. Great to have the live this week. Make sure you hit that like button. Thanks, Louie. Thanks for coming.
Yes.
We'll see you next week, buddy.
What other movies do we got?
I don't know. That's what I was gonna check.
And
Lex sent me some ears.
Oh, nice.
And I like how simple they are.
Planet of the Apes. Those are cute.
That's what Lex just put in the chat too. Yeah, these are super cute. So we probably feel that because I said Lex.
Stop listening.
Yeah, Planet of the Apes looks so dope.
Yeah.
Planet of the Apes looks so good. The Mummy is coming back to theaters for the 25th anniversary.
I just saw
Low key, I want to see that.
We should.
I love the Mummy movies, dude, so much. I kind of want to see the new Mad Max, and I kind of don't.
Okay.
I want to see. We still haven't seen Ghostbusters. I wanted to see that.
Yes.
I heard Holdover. Val said I heard Holdovers movie is good. What's Holdovers? Holdovers. Was that one of the dogs?
It's Sky.
Yeah, this sounds interesting. I would like to see that. What movies are coming out this summer? Let's see. Summer movies 2024. Another Sonic the... Yeah, I don't... there is a new Alien movie coming out. That trailer looked amazing.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't show it to you because I think it would actually scare you.
Yeah.
I feel like they're bringing like Alien back. I really want to see that. I think we're getting the Crow remake, which I don't know if I want to see. Bad Boys Ride or Die.
Oh.
Maybe that'll be dope. I don't know. That movie's gonna slap though either way. Get it? Because Will Smith's in it?
Yes.
Inside Out 2 comes out this summer.
Oh, nice.
In June.
Yes.
That could be good. Yeah, not a lot. I think there are a lot of people out there that like The Quiet Place.
I love that our Harkins Theater is having a Spider Mondays through the...
Yeah, they're going to show every Spider-Man movie this summer.
I think that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool.
There was a movie that I saw the other day, and I wanted to send you the trailer, and then it like refreshed, and I didn't get the name of it, so I'm waiting for it to come back up in my feed.
Oh, there's a movie. This is going to be. Oh yes, the
but
trailer.
That's not until October.
The trailer dropped today.
Yes.
More of like a teaser. There's a movie coming out called Fly Me to the Moon.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. That's
Yes.
with Scarlett Johansson and Channing
okay.
Tatum.
Yes.
And I don't know if it's going to be good, but I'm in.
Yes.
I'm in.
Yes, that's what it was.
Oh, we got a new Descendants movie coming out in July. I like that I Googled like top summer movies and it was like Descendants. I'm like, okay. Oh, Twisters.
Yes, that's
Twister
what I
wants
want
to see Twisters. I'm not.
Who's coming to the movies with me?
Yeah, I'm not really wanting to see that. I'll see it though. Borderlands maybe could be good for the gamers out there.
Val said I heard the Holdovers movie is good.
Yeah. And then she said, haha, here I am living in the past. It did come out in 2023.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
Nice.
overall, I don't think there's a lot of great stuff coming, but hopefully some good stuff can.
Yeah.
We're going to, after this summer, we're definitely going to run into a slump.
Yeah.
Where the writer's strike picked up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's pretty much it, though. I'm trying to think about anything else. Not a lot planned. We probably won't make it to the park this week.
No, because we only have Sunday, basically.
Yeah, we only have Sunday.
Because Saturday is going to be a lot of driving.
Yeah. Saturday, we're probably just going to chill at the house after, because that will be a lot. It's like 8 hours of driving in the same day or more.
Yeah.
Sunday, probably just chill. Maybe build a PC on Sunday, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Haven't decided yet.
Yeah.
Building a PC for the nephew out of most of my spare parts.
Uh-huh.
But it depends. I have a couple parts I need to pick up. So if I can get
out
those.
A case and everything.
Yeah, we took him on Friday to get a case. And that was kind of fun. It was really, he's never gamed on like a PC.
No.
So like watching him try to pick out a case was like, it was cute.
Yeah.
He was like so nervous.
Yep.
Yeah. Other than that.
Yeah, next week we don't have much planned.
Yeah, hopefully we'll make it down to the parks.
Yeah.
We want to go check out Universal.
Yes.
We want to go check out the new ice cream shop. We still haven't been to freaking Nintendo Land. So maybe we'll check that out while we're there.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have anything on my calendar besides the Universal.
We do have the pass holder preview thing for their tram on the 18th.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe if we go out there earlier, we can
do the ice cream.
all that.
Nick is definitely the coolest uncle. Like Nick is definitely the uncle that you say you liked something, and next occasion that comes around, birthday, Easter, Christmas.
Yeah, he's probably not
birthday,
watching right now. So, but like, I was like, this is gonna be your birthday present. Yeah, but his birthday's not till August, so like, chances are he's gonna get something else for his birthday. You know, but. Yeah, he definitely would be. Perhaps for the Epic Guy send-off, we could do the official beach bonfire. That's what I was thinking.
I know.
That's what I was
literally
thinking.
Came in my head too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to put something together in the Discord. Again, if anybody wants a link to the Discord, let me know. I will send it out.
Yeah. I think that's probably like a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a lot of fun.
That would be.
Awesome.
We'll do it at the dog beach.
Can't have a bonfire there.
No.
Yeah, unfortunately. Finding a dog beach we can have a bonfire would be game changing, because then we could be there all damn day.
Yeah.
Other than that, not a lot. I think we're probably gonna call it a night.
Yeah.
We had a great time hanging out.
I know.
Very thankful for Q and Jen. I'm glad Jen came. I told Q bring her. She was like running late from work, so she wasn't gonna. I'm glad she decided to. We appreciate that.
Definitely.
Other than that, I think we're really going to try very, very hard to like make the Tuesday lives come back.
Yes.
Even if we haven't been to the parks. I think a big part of that is me. I'm just like, we haven't been. I don't have anything to talk about. Then we always get here and have fun, of course.
Of course.
The last couple of weeks, it was literally, the office was a mess. I cleaned it all day today. So, Priscilla, I'm sorry I did not say hi to you. We did not say hi when you jumped on earlier. We were like talking to the queues. I'm glad you're still here.
Yes.
Thank you for joining, and hello.
Yes.
Yes, we had a blast. I'm sorry if we didn't interact with everybody.
I know.
Like usual, we kind of just jumped.
We really wanted to get like Q's questions answered.
Yeah. 100%. So thank you, everybody.
Yes.
And we will see y'all next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Peace.
And bye, guys.
Bye.